Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm not standing in my garden because if that was a garden, that would be like gardening on a big scale right now. I am on my morning walk with Alfie. There you could see her. This is where I was looking. There she is, having a good time here. So today I decided I'm not going to walk by the beach. I am walking through the forest, kind of like in between the beach and the forest. This is where we are at the moment. And what I want to do in today's video is a little bit of a decorating for Christmas. So I want to make a garland and like a little topper for the fireplace. Something I've never did before, but I saw it a couple of times on Instagram. I really love it. I love the look of it. And I want to try myself this year. So what I want to do is, I do have some nice evergreens growing in the garden that I could cut from, but we don't have any pines or anything. So here you can tell already where I'm standing. Here's some lovely, lovely pines growing. So I'm going to get in there and from each one of them I'm going to snip a little bit off, not too much, and then I will take you to the forest as well, because there are a lot of pines, and after the big storm that we had, normally branches always snap, come down, so there should be still some nice fresh branches on the ground, so I could just get in there and cut from those as well, because I prefer cutting from things that already came down from the tree, rather than like really cutting on the tree. But those pines here, oh, here's my morning coffee, by the way. So those pines here, they are kind of like the last lane before the dunes and the beach actually start. So they grow really strong and sturdy and they stay fresh in the vase for weeks. So this is why I love to come in here and just cut a little bit of them. So yeah, that is how I start today's video, and this is what today's video will be like, a little crafting and decorating for Christmas. Hope you're excited about it. So that is exactly what I was looking for. One of those branches that just snapped from the pine tree. So here, if I just swing to the up, there you see one of those like really tall pine trees here. Lost its branch. It all came down slowly so it doesn't get motion sick on the screen. And yeah, this is basically like the best thing because they're still quite fresh on the tips at least. So also for a garland, for example, I can just come in here now, get my secateurs and just start snipping those branches off that are actually looking quite cute still. And then I just start collecting those. So I don't need to cut from the fresh growing necessarily. Sometimes it's really just like good to like open your eye, get in here, and just see basically what I can do. And they even got like some cones on it. Where is it? Here. So really nice. This is a good start. Alfie and I are back from the forest, and as you can see, it's dark outside already. So actually we had a glorious day today. The entire week, the forecast is really nice. It's kind of like sun-cloud mix. The temperatures are still very mild when you're considering that we're really like in late autumn, early winter already, and I can really go into the garden every single day. Whenever there is just a single frost night in the forecast, they push it back almost a week at the moment. So I'm really not sure when I'm going to go out there to dig my dahlias even, because they're still looking nice, everything, like the cannas are still thriving and looking good. So this is so far a very lovely mild winter, which means that all those Christmas decorating projects that are supposed to be for indoors here are going to happen in the evening hours when it's dark outside, because I really just want to make the most out of these short days at the moment. So here I am in our living room, so there you get to see the living room area, and if I just swing around a little bit, then you get to see the dinner table where I'm going to work with you in a second. So this is the dinner table. And then if I just walk around this side, here is a fireplace. And we really use a fireplace also to heat up the house actually. And on top of the fireplace there is like this area where I can put a lovely garland, kind of like a centerpiece. And I want to hang it down from both sides, work on some fairy lights, some pine cones, Christmas ornaments, all different things. And then I want to give it like a little personal touch and do one more thing, which is like I will be crafting some paper flowers today again. But other than last time, I want to do like some bigger, more statement kind of paper flowers. Because when they're sitting up there with the pine cones and everything, the small ones, they would just disappear basically. So this is what I'm going to do tonight, but as I already shown you in one of my previous videos on how I do paper flowers, I'm not going to talk you through the entire process again. I will just speed it up, put some music under it so you can watch it. And for those of you who haven't seen my previous video and you are intrigued on how to make paper flowers, just scroll down a little bit in my history. There is a video for Thanksgiving decorating part 1 that I've only dedicated to how making paper flowers. It is a lovely thing to do. Whoever loves crafting, you will absolutely enjoy it, and it's one of those perfect things, especially for these like long winter nights when it's like dark and grim outside. It's not really grim outside, but when it gets dark early and you just want to do things on the inside, doing those paper flowers is something just really happy. It takes you to a happy place. It kind of takes you back to your garden. And this is also why I really love doing it during the winter time. So this is what I'm going to do today. And tomorrow evening, I'm actually going to work on my garland and on the topper for the fireplace. And fingers crossed, it's going to look as nice as it is in my mind already. It's a new day, and as you can tell, it is pitch black outside again, but that is not really an indicator about what time of the day it is, because around this time of the year, it's dark at 4:15 already. So we're in the early evening actually. And I had a lovely evening last night. I really spent hours making those paper flowers, just enjoy the crafting process. And once I was in it, I just kept on going. I just made like really nice, big, substantial size ones for today's project, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then I just kept on going and made some smaller ones for an upcoming project. Because I have something in mind and I thought, ooh, I could use some of those flowers in that project as well. So I just kept on going up until midnight, I think, yesterday. But I had a great time, watched some telly, had cups of hot tea, and it was just a lovely evening spent. As you can see, I prepared already a little bit in my bag. So on the table, there's everything that I need for today's project.
all the greenery is there, all different kind of conifers, and my decorating as well. So as I said, I think in one of my previous videos, is that this year I want to change the color concept for Christmas. So far, Christmas here was always in very traditional colors. So I was always using red, gold, and green. And this year I have an entire new color concept going on for inside and outside. Because I really like when inside and outside are cohesive and it all makes sense. So if you arrive at the house and what you see there, you find the exact same color and rhythm on the inside. And I can't wait to show you those colors and talk you through a little bit, because also in terms of material, I really want to change it a little bit this year. So what I want to do now is just flip the phone, talk you through about what I have, and then I'll start making my first garland ever. In my head, this is a fun, easy project to do, so fingers crossed it will be as much fun and as easy as I think it will be. So let me show you what I have. First things are all of my conifers and green things that I basically cut in the garden. So a lot of the things, all of this here comes from the garden basically. I got some ivy in here as well, where I thought that might be cute. Got some yew, that should be more yew somewhere in here in that tangle. Then over here you get to see those are the lovely pines that I cut in the forest the other day with you. Really lovely. Here's some more greenery. Then there are some fairy lights. I hope you can see it. It's very bright here. Then I cut some dried up hydrangea heads today in the garden. They're still a little wet. No, they're okay actually now. Maybe I incorporate those in well, I'm not quite sure. And then here you actually get to see my color concept for Christmas this year. So I really want to focus on these natural tones and natural colors, really work with pine cones and these kind of like coppery bronze kind of colors. Here are the flowers that I made. They are white, obviously. So I also want to work with these like whitish, almost like mother of pearl kind of tones. And the flowers should bring all those colors together, basically. So I have these like white tones, and then to the center they get darker into these like coppery tones. A little bit of glitter is in them. Some have a little more glitter than the others do. And then I still have this lovely garland actually that I have for a couple of years already. And this was the only thing that I ever put around the fireplace every single year, year after year. And this year I'm like, okay, I'm going to amp up my game. So let's see what I will come up with. Oh, I also got this. This is what I collected in the forest as well. So some fruit stands basically. So I really want to work with a lot of natural materials, because I think this year, maybe because of everything what happened with COVID and everything, you just want to make things look like happy and natural, and kind of you feel like more down to earth after everything. And I think this is exactly what I want this Christmas decoration to reflect this year. So let me just talk you through how I think I'm going to make the garland in general. I've got three things that I am using today. So the first thing is a metal wire, so one of those that comes from a roll. I just use gold because I just have it basically on hand. If you have it like in black or green or whatever, I think it works as well. Just a little thicker to what I use for the paper flowers, so I think this is quite important. That is quite sturdy because it has a lot of weight that it needs to tie together. Then of course I got my pair of secateurs here, so I can always cut and snip off what I want. And then my pile of greenery. And how I think I want to do it basically is, since I want to have like the garland hanging from both sides of the fireplace, I'm going to make like one for each side and kind of like come up, tie them up together on the top. And then on the top, I will do like a separate piece, kind of like a little topper where I just really go and build like the branches. So I have like this dome kind of shape basically of all my greenery up there. Can maybe work in some of those like ivy vines, just winding down. And then when all of that is up there, I think I'm really going to start with the decorating as a last thing and just put it in with the wire. Just really tie up the flowers and the Christmas ornaments and everything probably up there. I need to see this, like I'm really figuring things out. But how I want to do the garden basically is really just like starting off with one of these branches as it is here, and then just really use the wire, maybe a little longer, so I have enough to work with. And how I imagine it is just to tie around here and then just work my way to the top basically. So really just like using, yeah, I think this is how I want to do it actually. I'm not gonna cut it, I think, because if I leave the wire there for the entire way until the top, The wire can still be bent, and then I can put it into the shape where I want to do it. I think this will work out quite well. I haven't even watched another YouTube video, to be honest. I haven't, no inspiration and nothing on how it works. This is literally on how I envision it in my head and how it should work. But I think that it is going to work quite well. So I'm just like really overlaying these now and just tying them together and just going bit by bit higher. And as I do so, I think I really just start with these evergreen conifers like this and get like thicker and bushier to the top, and then at one point I'll start working in my pine as well and some of the other things that I have. So I really just start with one structure on the sides, and then as I go to the top I put in more and more, so I really amp it up until I reach the top basically of it. So this is my plan, and what I'm going to do now is just speed up again and just show you how I do it. I'm going to do 2 of those and then the top part.
I've made it, my first garland ever, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. I think it really comes together nicely. Super proud about it, how it looks with the fairy lights and everything, and how it sits proud on top of the fireplace. So I just want to give you a closer look. You see the fireplace is in full swing. And what I think is quite important is that the distance between the fireplace and the garland is quite huge, actually, because by the end of the day, the garland is made of fresh material and pine. So you really want to make sure that there is a good distance in between there. But if you just look at it, all the colors, how they're working together, I honestly couldn't be happier. When you see like the Christmas ornaments, the glittery Christmas ornaments in combination with the pine cones, with the dried up hydrangeas, then the flowers that I made, the paper flowers, I think they really tie together all of those colors. And then on top of it, the miscanthus that I incorporate from the garden, kind of this feathery texture, so there's always a nod to the garden as well, which I like. And then the wreath that we have there all year long, made of white seashells. And I left it there because I think color-wise it looks really nice, and I just like the idea that it ties back into the theme of us being here at the Baltic Sea. So I think this is just a really nice kickstart into the Christmas season. I can't wait for more decorating projects to share with you. That is it for today's video. I hope you had as much fun with it as I did. I love to decorate for Christmas and also to challenge myself and try out new things. So this is definitely a new thing for myself, something I had on my list for quite a while, and I'm really happy that I finally managed to tackle it. And I couldn't be happier with the result. And also I couldn't be happier that the color concept that I had in mind works out really well, because I think it is very cohesive with the house. So if you just look around the colors of the house, I think it just fits really well in here, and that makes me even happier. So the next things I'm going to do, of course, I will set up a Christmas tree inside. I will do some decorating at the main entrance, and I have like 2-3 more other things in my mind that I want to share with you. So I hope that you're equally excited about everything that has to do with Christmas and Christmas decoration as I am, because I'm going to show you everything basically. Up until then, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I would love to welcome you very soon in my house or in my garden again. Until then, take care guys. Bye.